If you walk into a room and see a single black cube floating in the center, you already feel something. Not because it did anything, but because your brain can't handle unfinished patterns. And that's the secret most people never understand about attraction. We are not drawn to people. We are drawn to shapes in motion. Let me explain. Picture this. A white wall. Empty. Now imagine a perfect circle slowly floating across it. Smooth. Balanced. Predictable. Your brain relaxes. Now replace that circle with a jagged triangle. Sharp edges. Unstable angles. It tilts slightly. You feel tension. Nothing happened. No words. No personality. Just shape. But here's the part nobody tells you. Your brain processes people the exact same way. In psychology, we constantly judge stability, symmetry, and unpredictability. Not consciously. Instantly. The circle person is calm. Easy to read. Stable energy. The triangle person is sharp. Intense. Slightly unpredictable. Which one creates more tension? Which one makes you look twice? Most people try to become more likable. But attraction isn't about being smooth. It's about contrast. Think about someone you couldn't stop thinking about. Were they perfectly balanced? Or were they slightly tilted, like a shape that didn't fully make sense? Here's what's really happening. The human brain is wired to resolve incomplete patterns. It wants closure. It wants symmetry. So when someone presents emotional mystery, subtle unpredictability, your brain keeps processing them in the background. Like a floating shape that refuses to land. And that unresolved tension? That's attraction. But this is where it gets dangerous. If you become too chaotic, you're not intriguing. You're unstable. There's a thin line between mystery and confusion. And the people who master attraction, and that leads to something deeper. Because shapes don't just create tension. They create hierarchy. Imagine three shapes floating together. A small circle. A medium square. A large, slow-moving rectangle. Without meaning to, your eyes lock onto the largest shape. Size equals presence. Now shrink that rectangle, but make it move slowly. Deliberately. Suddenly, it feels heavier. More powerful. Pay attention to this. Dominance in social situations works the same way. It's not volume. It's not aggression. It's controlled movement. The person who talks the least but moves with intention, they feel bigger. Most people don't realize this. Attraction increases when someone appears self-contained. Like a shape floating independently, not bouncing off everything around it. Think of two people at a party. One laughs loudly at every joke. Reacts instantly. Constant motion. The other listens. Pauses before speaking. Makes eye contact. Moves slowly. Who feels grounded? Who feels magnetic? Here's what's really happening. Your brain equates controlled energy with security. And security is attractive. But here's the twist. If you're too stable, too symmetrical, you become invisible. The perfect square blends into the background. Which is why the most captivating people combine two forces. Structure and surprise. They're mostly grounded. But occasionally unpredictable. Like a cube that rotates just when you think it's still. And this creates what psychologists call cognitive tension. The mind keeps watching. Waiting for the next shift. And that anticipation? It amplifies attraction. But there's another layer most people miss. Because shapes don't exist alone. They exist in space. And space changes everything. Look at a floating shape. Now remove it. You suddenly notice the emptiness it left behind. That emptiness has weight. In art, this is called negative space. In human behavior, it's called absence. And absence is one of the most misunderstood tools in attraction. But here's the part nobody tells you. Constant availability kills intrigue. When a shape fills the entire frame, there's no room for imagination. But when it drifts in and out, your brain fills the gaps. Think about texting. One person responds instantly. Every time. Long paragraphs. Another replies thoughtfully. Sometimes disappears for hours. Not playing games. Just living fully. Who occupies more mental space? Most people don't realize this. Scarcity increases perceived value because your brain hates incomplete visuals. When something appears, then vanishes, it becomes important. Like a geometric form fading into fog. Your mind replays it. Imagine watching a cube slowly morph into a sphere. Edges softening. Angles dissolving. You can't look away. Why? Because change captures attention. Human beings are addicted to growth. Not comfort. Growth. Most people try to present a fixed identity. This is who I am. Stable. Defined. Boxed. But here's the part nobody tells you. The most attractive people are evolving in real time. They're learning. Building. Improving. Like a shape mid-transformation. There's movement. Direction. Momentum. Think about someone who starts going to the gym. At first, nothing dramatic. But you see discipline forming. Posture improving. Energy shifting. It's not just physical change. It's trajectory. And trajectory is powerful. Here's what's really happening. Your brain doesn't just assess who someone is. It predicts who they're becoming. And if that future looks expansive, rising, leveling up, attraction multiplies. Because aligning with growth feels like security and excitement combined. But this is where it gets dangerous. If you chase improvement only to impress others, the energy feels forced. Like a shape spinning too fast to prove it's dynamic. Real transformation is quiet. Consistent. Self-driven. And that authenticity? It radiates. People sense it without knowing why. They just feel pulled. Because deep down, everyone wants to attach themselves to upward motion. So what does all this mean? It means attraction isn't random. It's geometry. It's tension. It's space. It's evolution. You are not trying to be liked. You are designing your shape. Sharpen your edges slightly. Slow your movements. Create space around your presence. And keep transforming. Most people drift through life trying to fit into someone else's frame. But the ones who understand human psychology, they float differently. They don't chase attention. They generate gravity. And here's the final truth. You don't control who finds you attractive. But you control your symmetry. Your unpredictability. Your growth. So ask yourself, are you a static object, blending into the wall? Or are you a shape in motion, impossible to ignore? Because the moment you master your energy, your space, and your trajectory, you stop chasing. And people start orbiting. Follow for more psychology insights.